Right, good morning boys and girls, Stellation here, and today, welcome back, yes. Today we're gonna go back to a topic you've learned last year, simultaneous equation. And don't worry, it's not gonna be boring, we're gonna make it a little bit more difficult, okay? Don't worry, it's not gonna be too bad. Let's start with grade 10 level simultaneous equation. So simultaneous equation, that means, as far as we're concerned, we have two equations. You can do it with more, but we normally will have two equations and two variables. If I just take one equation, let's say like this, 2x minus 1 equals 5. You can solve that, right? You've been doing it since grade 8. Okay? But if I have an equation with two variables, not one, two variables, I can't solve it. Because I don't know the x and I don't know the y. Okay? So what we learn is we need two equations. And really, the number of variables you have that you're trying to find out, that's how the number of equations you need. So if you have x, y, and z, then you'll need how many? 3 equations. And we don't normally do that in our level. So, okay. What we learned last year, we learned of 2 ways of doing it. The first was elimination, which is my favorite. And the second one was substitution. I'm not going to show you the elimination because we're not going to be able to use the elimination in grade 11. You'll see why later. Okay? So I'm just going to remind you how to use substitution. Substitution tells you, okay, choose one of the equation and try and express one variable in terms of the other variable. Okay? So I'm going to choose this equation. And I'm going to try and either say x equals something in terms of y or y equals something. Now, which one do you think will be easier? X, because x is already on its own. If I was trying to find out what does y equal, okay, well, I have that 3, so I'll have to divide it all by 3. So what I'm going to do is x equals 5 minus 3y. Okay, that's the expressing one variable in terms of the other variable. I don't know what x is because I don't know what y is. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to substitute that for x over here. So I'm going to move on to the second equation, and anywhere it says x, instead of putting x, now I'm going to put 5 minus 3y. And then I've got that minus y here equal to. Okay, and look at this. Now I have one equation with one variable. You alright? Is it exciting? No? Okay, I'll just pause here for a second. Alright, so now we need to solve it. So we open it up. Minus 10 plus 6y minus y equal 2. 6y minus y is 5y. If you don't mind, I'll move that straight to the other side. Equal 12, well, we've got some fraction here. I just made up this equation, so it's not coming out nice, but it's okay. Y equal 12 over 5. Okay, are we finished? No, we still need to know x. How we know what x is? Okay, we had already a relationship between x and y. So now we're going to substitute the y into it to find the x. Okay, therefore x equals 5 minus 3 times 12 over 5, which again is not a very nice number, and maybe you can put that in the calculator for me.
36 over 5.
36 over 5. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna just highlight these two, and that's your answer. Okay.
What?
I'll pause here. No, we got a wrong answer.
Instead of to do 36 minus 5 minus 36.
5 minus, yes. Yeah. Then we didn't put the 5. So it's 5 minus 36 over 5?
It's negative 11 fifths.
11 what?
Fifths.
11 over 5. Are we happy with that? Hopefully you got the right answer. Okay, I'll pause here and we'll move on to grade 11. Because this was too easy. Now we're going to grade 11. Welcome to grade 11. We've got two equations, two variables. What is the difference? It's a square. So at least one of the equation, and I think if I'm just going to quickly look. Yeah. So one of the equation, hopefully I'm not wrong, but one of the equation will be what we call linear, so they won't have any squares, but the other equation have squares. Okay, and you know, we can chat later, but elimination is not going to work here. So we're going to have to use substitution that I just showed you. But the good news is we're doing the same thing. We're doing exactly the same thing. Instead of having linear equation, we'll have to work with quadratic equation. So you got to choose looking at the linear equation, which is this one, and look for what is easier to express it the other way. And you guys already realize that x is easier. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say x equal 5 minus 3y. And we can keep it there. Remember, we're going to come back to it when we're going to try and find x once we know y. And the same way we're substituting, instead of x, we're going to substitute this now. Okay? But, yeah? Alright, so we're going to rewrite 2 as x squared. Okay, so we can write 5 minus 3y squared. It's very important to be methodical here, because it's so easy to make mistakes. But if you write it all, then you at least get marks for the method. And there's less chance you make a mistake. So that was x squared. Now I have minus 3x. Okay, so minus 3 times 5 minus 3y. Okay, then I've got 10y. Y is fine. I can have y. I just don't want to have x here. 8y squared minus 18. This is not difficult, guys. This is just a normal quadratic equation. Okay, you guys are good with quadratic equation. Okay, what do we have to do here now? Open everything. Open everything. Okay, so I'll have, you guys are good with that formula now, I hope. Okay, a minus b squared. So it's 25, 5 squared, minus 2ab. It'll be minus what?
30.
30, well done, Buzzer, because 5 times 3 is 15 times 2 minus 30, y. Okay, there's still a y here. Okay, plus 9y squared, well done. Okay. Now, okay, this one, don't forget the brackets. I didn't mention before, you must use the brackets. Okay? Minus 15 plus 9y. Plus 10y equal 8y squared minus 18. Alright, what do we do now? Okay, so we need to do two things. We eventually need to move everything to the left. I forgot what?
The y.
Y. Thank you. We gotta move everything to the left, but we also, like you said, we want to add things together. So let's do it in 2 stages. Let's just sort out this side. So I've got y squared, just 9y squared. What shall we do it both at the same time? Do you want me to go into 2? Okay. All right, 9y squared. Okay. Now I'm looking for the y's. Minus 30y plus 9y. So that's plus 19y. What is minus 30 plus 19? Minus 11, I think.
Yeah.
Minus 11y. Okay. So I've done those things. And then I've got 25 minus 15. That's plus 10. Equal 8y squared minus 18. Now let's move everything to the left. So y squared minus 11y plus 28 equal to 0. Are we happy so far? Let me just pause. Now we sort out this quadratic equation. We gotta try and factorize. Can we factorize it? Did you have a look already?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So y, it's easy one, right? Because it's just 1y squared. So y. Okay. 2 numbers.
Minus 7
Minus 7 minus 4. Minus 7 minus 4. They multiply 28. They add to minus 11. Sorted. We've got 2 answers. Y equals 7 or y equal 4. Okay.
So now what do you do?
What do we do now? So we've got the y's. We've got 2 options for y. What do I need to do now?
So you substitute each. Like,
To find x.
okay.
So we're going to have 2 solutions for x. Okay? So, okay. Yes. Just a second. I'm just going to pause here for a second. So, all right. Let's substitute y equals 7 here. Okay? We're going to say, I'm going to write it in 2 different colors, actually. So y equals 4. We'll see why in a second. Okay. If y equals 7, then x must be 5 minus 3 times 7. That means x equal Negative what, sorry?
16.
Negative 16, okay, right? And then if y equal 4, then x equal 5 minus 3 times 4, which is 5 minus 12, minus 7?
Minus 16. Oh no, George.
Minus 7.
Minus 7, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, right, we got two solutions. I'm going to write them like this. X equal minus 7. So either y equal 4 and x equals minus 7, that's one possibility, or x equal minus 16 and y equals 7. So we've got two pairs of possibility. Okay? I'm looking at the way they write the answers. I'll be honest with you guys, they kind of say just write down x equal minus 16 or minus 7, y equals 7 or 4. But more accurately, you really, when x is minus 16, y must be 7. So it's like two pairs of answers, if you know what I mean. But they don't seem to be very strict about that. Here we go. Hopefully everyone saw everything else. Right. I'll stop here. Let's do some work.